What does it mean to be fluent in a foreign language? Does it mean being able to order food at a restaurant without having much trouble? Or does it mean being able to live day to day in a foreign country where that language is spoken? The way I think about it is that there's two different types of fluency. There's functional fluency and there's native-like fluency. Functional fluency is being able to get around in that language day to day and doing pretty much all the things that you would normally do in your native language. And that means getting groceries, talking with friends, making friends with the neighbors, going to a bank or to the doctors and being able to explain whatever you need to. And just pretty much living your day-to-day life in a foreign language. This doesn't mean living in touristy spots or having language communities where they only speak your original native language, which I've noticed happens a lot in USA specifically. And native-like fluency is having a really good control over the language and being able to explain pretty much whatever you want in any situation, as well as knowing the full extent of pretty much all of the cultural norms and kind of just the culture of that languages in general. I think for the most part, people aim for functional fluency, and I think they just want to make friends and kind of be just fluent and comfortable in most situations in a language. And trying to gain native-like fluency is extremely difficult, especially since natives kind of spend their whole entire lives in the language and kind of live the language since birth pretty much. So it's pretty difficult to become super native. If we map out the timeline for learning a language as a native and as a language learner, it looks something like this. We'll have time on the x-axis and we'll have language learning abilities on the y-axis. Both a native and a language learner pretty much starts out at 0. No one knows the language pretty much from birth or whatever. So they all just start out on a clean slate. And in the first 2 to 5 years, depending on the language and all that, you pretty much get functionally fluent. And the rest of the time from there, you pretty much climb towards 100%. So where you're completely fluent in the language and you kind of just know just about anything. You can get around pretty much doing whatever you want. One thing to note is that I don't think that natives are completely 100% fluent as well. I know that, for example, for English, if we talk about woodworking or, I don't know, gardening to a person who doesn't really have like that kind of domain knowledge, they won't really know like all the specific terms and stuff. And one thing to note about natives is that they have a huge head start and they continue learning like a variety of things, especially because they go to school in that language and they have new experiences with people pretty much day to day. I think for the most part, especially for learners, I think hitting that 80% threshold, people are going to be pretty much content with their level and they'll kind of not plateau, but they'll slowly start learning more vocab from that point onward. And I think the key takeaway to having better language learning skills and just becoming overall more fluent is pretty much learning new things, having new experiences in that language, and the time spent learning that language. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want to be super fluent in your language? What does fluency mean for you guys? Let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, pretty much until next time. See you guys.